Okie dokie, boys and girls. If I look like trash, it's because I feel like trash, but I feel amazing at the same time. So I have just been in the inspiration chamber and I want to talk about some stuff. I ran my first ultra marathon. Uh, I've been running not for an entire year yet, but basically 364 days. Tomorrow will be my full year. And I just want to talk a bit about doubting yourself. Because 1 year ago, I was I had tried half marathons, I had tried whatever, right? And I always convinced myself like I'm not good at this shit. Like I can't do this. I am never gonna be able to run for 10 kilometers an hour. I'm never gonna be able to run a half marathon in 2 hours. I'm never gonna be able to run a full marathon. And then it's gonna get long, guys. I saw a Japanese guy and he was like 40 years old and something. And basically, he started doing the One Punch Man challenge. And the One Punch Man challenge, if you don't know, it's run 10 kilometers every day, and then also like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and 100 squats. And he started just doing it, and he absolutely fucking destroyed himself in the first month. And then he continued, and he got back stronger. He was able to run 10K now in like one go. He got to his first marathon. He got to his first ultra marathon. And that's when I realized, I'm just convincing myself that I'm not able to do this because I don't want to put in the effort. This guy is out there, running 10 kilometers a day. There's no fucking reason I couldn't do the same with like 5 kilometers a day. So I started running every day, no matter what. And the first 2 weeks were fucking dreadful, I couldn't run all the time. I had to walk sometimes. But even if it's a bad day, you just show up, right? It's like sometimes it's just about showing up. Because if you have something in your head, like if you're able to do something or not, and it's truly bothering you, I mean, you have all these self-help gurus telling you that you should fucking, talk to the mirror and tell yourself to believe in yourself, don't doubt yourself. But I think if you don't take action, it's okay to doubt yourself. It's okay to think like, oh fuck, am I ever gonna be able to do it? And then you can take matters into your own hands and start fucking working on it. You start doing something. Like 5 kilometers a day is not an efficient way to train, but it's something. It's a start. And when you get down the road, the view is different. You see different things. You see different opportunities. Then one day you don't run a 5K, but you run 8. And in no matter am I like an extreme version. I'm not David Coggins. I'm not doing 20 fucking miles a day or something, right? I'm just a normal fucking dude. I had a great fucking growing up. No one hated me. And then still, I was doubting myself. Like, I was thinking to myself, like, fuck, is this it? There was still something unsatisfied. And I think that's the same for a lot of people. But I think, it's kind of like pride holding you back because you think to yourself, yeah, probably that's never for me. But the reason that you think that is because you feel like you should already be there. And what most people forget is that there is an insane amount of effort that you have to put in if you want to do an ultra marathon, if you want to do, some cool skills in calisthenics, if you want to, do better at your job. I think people underestimate the amount of work that's going on there. And if you're doubting yourself, I think it's just because you're not doing the work. Because let's say, you doubt yourself, you give something every fucking ounce of effort, right? You train for months upon months, and then you get to like whatever challenge you have, and you fail it. If you truly did everything, that failure is not gonna feel like failure. It's gonna feel like success. Because at the moment, like when you actually fail and you've given it your all, like like at that point there is no doubt anymore. You're not doubting yourself anymore. Even though you failed, you will be more confident. Like at kilometer 30 today, I had given up hopes of finishing my full marathon in 4 hours, which is like, something I want to do someday in my life. And, okay, that's harsh, but I can still continue. I can still place one feet in front of the other. I can still continue. And I finished my full marathon distance in 4 hours and 20 minutes. It's not ideal. So I failed in that sense. But I got to the fucking full marathon distance. My original plan was 50 kilometers. And at 30 kilometers, I was like, fuck no, we're just gonna go for the marathon, no matter the time. And then we got at the marathon. Walking and fucking running, but we got there. And then when I got there, I was like, well, let's go for 5 hours. It was fucking hot outside, And then we got to 5 hours, and I stopped by my home. I took new fucking drinks, and I was at 74.5 kilometers. And then I was like, fuck it, Every time, you take it one by one, but like you have these small checkpoints. And then you tell yourself, or you ask yourself, if I stop now, would I be satisfied? And then when the answer is no, can I place one foot in front of the other? Can I go one more step? Can I continue working? Can I, continue improving at my job? Can I continue training skills? Can I continue whatever, right? And if the answer is yes, then you just fucking do it. and it's such a great satisfaction, because at the moment that you are truly unable to do anything more, and when you ask yourself the question, am I satisfied? The answer will be yes. No matter if you reach your original goal or not. But, when I got to kilometer 42, I knew I wouldn't be satisfied. I would be here sitting in pain and hating every minute of it. And when I got to 5 hours, I was thinking the same thing, like, no, I can't quit. And, you just take things step at a time, and then you continue, if you can continue, and if you're not. But in any way, like any case, right, either you finish, you set out what you wanted to do, or you're just giving it your fucking all. But in either of those cases, there is not a single doubt left in your head. And sure, afterwards, you're gonna be in a world of pain, you're gonna be tired as hell, whatever, even if it's not physical, right? If it's like studying, or it's work, or you're trying to do a project, whatever, you're gonna be fucking dead tired. Or if it's physical, you're gonna be in a world of pain. Like, trust me, I don't like going up the stairs or down the stairs right now. It takes me way too long, right? But that kind of pain is different. That kind of tiredness is different. Because the only thing you have to think about is you did it to yourself. You went through hours and hours of running, in my case, or you went through months and months of training. You went through months and months of studying, years of studying, to finally get to this point. And yes, you're exhausted, but the reason that you're exhausted is because you just gave it your all, right? And I'm gonna just say it one more time. When you get to that place, no matter what place it is that you want to be, right? Even if the reality hurts and you didn't achieve what you want to, there is gonna be no doubt in your head. And if you truly gave it your all, you're gonna be satisfied as hell. And you're gonna have such a surging confidence. I mean, I'm just sitting here, like, my feet hurt, especially my quadriceps hurt, and I was cramping in my hamstrings. I'm just sitting here in pain, but it's the most satisfying thing I've ever felt, maybe. Like, I was still outside, I just reached 50 kilometers. I saw it going on the Strava, and I was almost crying. Like, I didn't, like, I had heard before of people crying after a fucking ultra marathon. I thought I understood, like, oh yeah, I guess it's hard, but I didn't understand, because this is tomorrow's run. Tomorrow is day 365. And you can bet your 2 buns that I'm gonna show up, right? I'm gonna show up to do that run, and it's gonna take me maybe 40, 45 minutes, whatever. But I'm gonna fucking do it. Because no matter if your day is good or your day is bad, like, just showing up and doing your best, that's the fucking essence of it, right? If you're on a good day, well then, I guess, take it, right? But if you're on a bad day, take it as well. Like, just take it one step at a time. And it sounds fucking stupid, and I'm yapping, but, like, after 5.5 hours of running, no, not 5.5. I finished in 5:26. I did my best to finish under 5.5. You know, these are the kind of things that I think about. So I'm gonna sit here, enjoy my pain, eat some fucking food, go in the bath, I guess, because I stink so much. And then guess what? You think I wasn't gonna train? We got a pull day today, boys. So I don't know when, but it's gonna be today. And I'm gonna keep training every day, and I'm gonna keep running every day, because showing up, that's the most important part. So I'll see you after I've washed up myself. 3 hours later. Alright, actually it might be 4. So today we have a pull day, and it's usually I alternate between the fucking, holy shit, I can't speak. I alternate between the press movements, you know, straight arm work, and front lever pull-up work. I am, like 6 days ago I did like max effort holds, so I still want to recover from that. So I'm actually gonna do some pull-ups again, even though I did them last time. And last time, that was a day that I was sick, so I only did tuck front lever pull-ups that day. Today I'm not gonna add any weight, not even at my hips, which I usually do. But I just wanna see, or I feel like, weirdly, I feel like I can still do full front lever pull-ups. So I'm gonna do 5 sets of front lever pull-ups. I don't know the amount of reps yet, but I'm hoping something between 10 and 12 for 5 sets. So let's see how it goes, you know. This is not gonna be easy, but it's a good final fuck you to those 50 kilometers we just ran. So every 4 minutes I will do a set, which means I have about 3.5 minutes, a bit more of rest. So yeah, if you wanna reference the rest time, that's it. For these front lever pull-ups, I like to make sure that I rest enough in between. You know, it's not something I do for direct endurance gains. It's just to give myself a strong basis in the front lever so that I can get a stronger hold as well. So let's go. Okay, entering and going out is the most difficult part because my quadriceps are just on fire, but 4 more sets. Let's go. These are some tough fucking pull-ups. My brain is too messed up to tackle up now, but 1 more set and then we'll move on to the next exercise. Alright, that's 60 pull-ups. I don't know about the form, but that's 60 fucking pull-ups after 50 kilometers of running. I'm gonna sit down and have a chat with you guys. Okay, so don't worry, the training is not done yet. I have 1 more set left because even on the days that I do this bent arm work, the front lever pull-ups, right, I like to finish off with something straight arm related, and that's because my main goal is the straight arm, the normal front lever hold. So to get good at something, you have to do that something, right? I can build my base all I want using the front lever pull-ups. If I don't do the actual front lever hold, if I don't do straight arm work, presses and so on, right, it's not gonna carry over efficiently. So one final set here to basically stimulate some growth, some strengthening on the normal front lever. I'm gonna do some presses mixed with some holds. I do not know how many reps. I do not know, well, how many sets. I do know. I'm gonna do one set. But basically, I'm just gonna do this until it burns a little bit. I'm not gonna go to my max. Just when the form starts breaking down, that's when I'm gonna stop the set. And that's gonna give me a good stimulus to basically get some gains on the straight arm front lever, on the normal front lever, So one final set. Let's go. Alright, that's it for today. Now we are finished. Okay, so that's it for today's workout. And it's kind of the same with the workout that I was sick, but sometimes it's not about putting on an extreme performance. Sometimes it's just about showing up, right? About doing something. Because if you focus on what you can do, instead of what you are not able to do, right? And what you can't do, then you will find that you're able to do more than you think, Of course, today was not a very hard front lever workout. It was not an insanely hard pull day with the best pump of my life. But it was a front lever workout. It was a pull day, right? And every day, you show up and you do something towards your goal, something that you wouldn't have done if you didn't have that goal, right? And you build it brick by brick. And, then one day, you'll look back and you're like, holy fucking shit. I climbed up an insanely high mountain, so I'm gonna keep showing up every day, doing what I am able to do. I hope you do the same. And maybe lastly, something I want to mention is, well, of course, this 50-kilometer run does not directly affect the bulk in a good way, does it? I mean, I think 50 kilometers, if I multiply it by 70 kilos, because I weigh 72, 73, right? That's 3,500 calories burned. That's an entire day's worth of eating, basically, that I'm gonna have to catch up to, and that's reality. So, when you look at it directly, no, this run is not gonna help my bulk, right? It's gonna put me back 2 weeks because I'm gonna have to recover from this run. I'm not gonna be able to train as hard in the coming days or even weeks. I will see. And on paper it sounds like a very bad idea, but in my head, right, it's a little bit different because yes, I was doing this bulk, but I was doing this bulk all the while being bugged by this question of, will I ever be able to run a marathon? That question was there from the beginning of this bulk. That question was there for me even before the bulk, even for my first bulk, right? All the way from last year. And I started this bulk kind of coping after running 30 kilometers again, thinking to myself, trying to convince myself that no, maybe the marathon is not for me. But the longer I let it simmer in my head, I realized that I was trying to lie to myself. And so I started the bulk, and the voice in my head kept popping up, like, I wonder if I can run a marathon. And, if you ask yourself the question, right, if I die tomorrow, what's gonna be the biggest regret of something that I didn't do? And if that's something, right, whatever it is, you should fucking go out there and do it, even if it doesn't align completely with others' current goals. Like, if you can, just go out there and fucking do it, right? Or at least try it, fail, but give it your all. Because, like I said, like I mentioned in the beginning, like in this talk before the training, if you do that, right, and you give it your all, if you fail or not, it doesn't matter, you're satisfied. Because you did give it your all, and there are no longer any doubts. And, removing that doubt gives you freedom. It gives you mental freedom. And I'm sure that the mental freedom, the voice in my head is gone. I am able to run a marathon. I am able to run 50 kilometers. I am able to do an ultra marathon, right? The voice is gone. I have mental freedom. I achieved mental freedom. And it will affect this bulk positively. It's gonna take a couple weeks, but it will pay back its dividends. I'm fully convinced of that. So that's all I'm gonna say about that, right? If you know that you're gonna regret not doing something before you die, take some action on it, right? And it doesn't have to be physical, right? It can be training, of course, but it can be your job. It can be even telling a girl that you like her, right? I know women are scary, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So go out there and do it. That's all I'm gonna say. So today we had a lot of yapping, and you gotta forgive me. That's just what happens after 5.5 hours of running. But I'm gonna go to bed satisfied tonight. I'm going to go to my parents' house right now. They don't even know I did this. I told basically no one that I was gonna try an ultra marathon today, but I'm gonna go to my parents, have some steak, head to bed early tonight, and see you tomorrow for another run, another training. Because that's just how life goes, there is no end. Not after your achievements, not after your failure or attempt, I should say. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, and boy, I am glad that I have some upper body strength to push me up now.